What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé, The Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 4, How Long Do You Last? Ed. So it started off with a warning. Okay, this episode had a whole entire warning because of the sexually explicit content that was going to be featured in this episode, because this is the episode where the group has their session with the sex therapist. So it was so funny. It was so funny. It was more funny than informative. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into the whole group session. So the couples arrive, but it's only six couples. It's only three couples, sorry. It's only three couples. Angela and Michael are not there because they're going to have their own private session with the sex therapist, because their situation's a little bit differently because of Michael, living in a whole nother country. So as far as the three couples that were there, Ed and Liz showed up, and they were not even on speaking term because they had an argument that morning regarding the whole Angela situation, and Ed feeling like Liz doesn't support him, Liz feeling like, Ed didn't protect her from Angela. So they're already on the outs when the session even begins. So the sex therapist, she shows up, she introduces herself, and I think she called herself a pleasure something. I forgot what she had a title. She gave herself some type of a pleasure something title. I forgot what it was, but I think I've seen this therapist before, actually on Married to Medicine. I think she was on there. So as soon as the session begins, Ed has to, there's a camera there, there's an audience there, so he has to be his typical Ed self. He started off the session by saying, where do babies come from? And the joke fell flat. Nobody cared. Nobody laughed because Ed is extremely annoying. He cannot control himself. It's always the Ed show. Ed is always on, no matter how unfunny he is, no matter how not interested in anybody else's, he's going to always give you a show. Asuelo says in his confessional that he wants to be more attentive to Kalani's needs so that she can get rid of the other guy. Because according to Kalani, this other man knows how to please her, knows how to satisfy her, because he's very intuitive with what her needs are, whereas Asuelo is only concerned about his own needs. So Asuelo says he's going to be taking notes, he's going to be paying attention. He's going to be asking questions because he wants to know what he can do to please his wife so that she can let go of the other guy. The way that I see Asuelo and Kalani, Kalani definitely has a soft spot in her heart for Asuelo. Otherwise, she wouldn't even be here with him at all, period. But I just don't think that Asuelo really is going to change. I think for now, when the cameras are on, Asuelo does what he thinks he's supposed to do. He tries to say and do the right things. But I think once they go back to their real life, I think Asuelo is going to be the same old Asuelo. He's going to be disrespectful because he was extremely disrespectful towards the end of whatever season that they were last on. I think it was Happily Ever After. He was extremely disrespectful to her, disrespectful to Kalani, and front of her mother as well, and he was really rude, and also he was being unfaithful, cheating on her with random women. So I feel like when they go back to their real life, Asuelo is going to be the same Asuelo. I don't think whatever this is that they're doing, is going to change anything. I think they're here just for a check. I don't think their marriage is fixable. So at some point, the therapist asks them to rate your sex life with your partner, and Asuelo said that Asuelo gave Kalani a 10. He said his sex life with Kalani is a 10, which completely confused me, because if it was a 10, then why do you cheat with just random women at bars if your sex life with Kalani is a 10? Kalani declined to rate her sex life with Asuelo, but in her confessional, she says that the thought of having sex with him is disgusting. It turns her off because when she thinks about it, all she can see is him with other women. Molly says she rated her sex life with Kelly an 8, which was surprising to me as well, because you don't even like this man. Molly didn't even want to sit next to him in their first group session, but she gave their sex life an 8. Their non-existent sex life, she gave it an 8. Molly says that she no longer finds him attractive because he is unmotivated, and I think unmotivated is code for unemployed. I mean, he's motivated to sit down on the couch and watch reality TV all day. He has motivation for that. So he's motivated in the things that he's interested in. He's just unemployed, and that's what's turning Molly off. Ed said that his sex life with Liz was an 11, but now it's dropped down to a 5. But I don't think he gave a reason why. If he did, I didn't pay attention. Liz said that she's not the one to wait for him to catch his breath. So, in their confessional, Ed blames his lack of stamina on surgery. And Liz said, okay, but you had surgery months ago. And Ed said, no, it was only 2 weeks ago. Ed, the lies you tell. The lies you tell. Jovi gave his sex life with Yara a 6 because he says that he wants more. Yara gave it an 8. Jovi says that he wants them to do it more, and they have a kid, and life gets in the way. And Yara was like, "It's got nothing to do with us having a kid." Yara said, "You approach sex the way that you approach everything else in life. You want it when you want it, how you want it," and I guess gives no consideration to her, what her needs are, whether or not she's in the mood. That goes on, that's thrown on the wayside, and it's just about what Jovi wants, how he wants it, and when he wants it. And Jovi says something about how he shouldn't have to go through hoops just to have sex with his wife. He says, she's always expecting the dinner and the dancing and the buying her this and buying her that, just to get her in the mood. And I don't know if that's exactly what it is, or if maybe Yara just needs to be mentally stimulated. Maybe there needs to be a little bit more foreplay. I don't know. But I seriously doubt that he has to take her out to eat and buy her things just to get her in the mood. I seriously doubt that it's that bad. So maybe it's just the fact that there's not enough foreplay, because we've seen, Jovi, when he wants to get down, it's like when he's in the mood, he's in the mood. He wants it then and there. And Yara's just trying to fight him off, and he just doesn't care. He wants it right then and there. So maybe he just has to learn how to stimulate her mentally first. I don't know. So the therapist gives them all homework assignments, and we'll get to that later. And after the therapy session, when everybody's leaving, Ed accuses Liz of throwing missiles at him and embarrassing him on purpose, because no other wife or girlfriend embarrassed their partner the way he felt like Liz embarrassed him. And Liz was like, well, if you took it more seriously, maybe I wouldn't have been as harsh as I was, but I was just being honest. So he wanted to do the Ed Saturday Night Live show, and Liz was like, okay, we can both play at this game. You want to be Mr. Jokey Jokey? I'm going to be Miss Brutally Honest with everything. And that she definitely was. Moving on from there, we have Angela and Michael. So the therapist meets with them privately. And their situation is different, I guess, because he lives so far away. I still don't see why they couldn't have joined the group. I don't know why this one had to be in private, but it was. So they talk about the whole situation. Angela said that when she goes to visit him in Nigeria, they're getting it on every single day. I don't know why, but I find that kind of hard to believe. But that's what she said. She says when she goes to visit him in Nigeria, for however long she's there, they're hitting the mark every single day. They talk about the whole self-pleasuring thing, and Michael says that he doesn't do that. He doesn't believe in that because of his religion. Angela said that they don't believe that a man should waste his seed, and that's why he doesn't do that. And then the therapist gave them a device where it's something that Angela can use and Michael can control remotely through an app. And they gave us a snippet of this at the end. After the therapist left, they tried it out, and it was just not necessary for us to see. We have an imagination, TLC. Asuelo and Kalani. So they're in their room with their kids, and they're talking in code because the kids are there, and their assignment was to self-pleasure. And I thought it was self-pleasuring in the same room together, so you can see what your partner likes, what turns your partner on, but they did it separately. So Kalani says that when she puts the boys to bed, she was going to take care of her assignment, and then Asuelo went into his own room because they still are not sharing a room. Asuelo went into his own room to do his assignment, and he also doesn't believe in the whole self-pleasuring thing. He says he doesn't believe in it because of he says it brings him bad luck. And he said the last time that he self-pleasured, he got hurt in volleyball. So he doesn't believe in it. So I guess that's the reason why he was doing all this bizarre stuff in his room, because he was like humping the wall, he was humping the corner of the bed. So yeah, that was bizarre. Ed and Liz, I think their homework was also self-pleasuring, but I'm not even going to get into that. Ed and Liz had a conversation about their relationship, and it seems like they came to, they had an epiphany and they came to an understanding. So Liz said, I wish that you would take things more seriously. And Ed tells Liz, I wish that you would support me more. So they both agree that they're going to do what their partner is expecting of them. And they're really happy that finally they came to some kind of an understanding. So Liz is going to support Ed more, and Ed is going to take things more seriously. And I guess not torture us with his horrible jokes. Yara and Jovi, their assignment was just to cuddle, do nothing else but cuddle. But they failed horribly at that, because there's no way that Jovi is going to be next to Yara and nothing's going to go down. That's just not going to be possible. So Molly and Kelly, I forgot what their assignment was. I completely forgot. But we do see them meeting up with one of the relationship therapists. And the therapist started off by saying, Molly, the sex therapist told me that you are turned off by Kelly because he doesn't work. He's unemployed. And Molly said, it turns me off. Yes, him not working absolutely turns me off. She says, I don't think that he can support me financially, emotionally, mentally, sexually. He can't support me at all. And of course, that hurt Kelly's feelings. Kelly said that he had uprooted his life to be with her. He retired from the police force in New York. He moved to a whole nother state just to be with her. And of course, we know Molly thinks that that's not enough. You have to do more. You have to work. You have to be a provider. And Molly says that he doesn't respect me as a mother, and he doesn't respect me as a businesswoman. Now, that mother part, I do believe, because of the situation that happened a few months prior, earlier on this year, or late last year. I forgot when it happened, but there was a situation where Kelly and Molly's oldest daughter got into it. I think they had like a physical altercation. The police had to be called, and it all stemmed from Kelly thinking that Molly is not strict enough with her oldest daughter, and thinking that she needs to like put her foot down more. And so the oldest daughter got all up in Kelly's face about that. I think that's how it went down. And it happened at the lingerie shop. And Kelly came to confront Molly's oldest daughter, and the police were called, and it was like a whole thing. And this also had led to Molly and I forgot her name, the lady that's her best friend. It led to her and her best friend parting ways, because when the police were taking statements, the best friend was sort of like siding with Kelly on exactly what went down between Kelly and Molly's daughter. And Molly felt like her friend betrayed her by getting her daughter in trouble. But it seemed like the evidence and the video footage supported what the friend said, that Molly's daughter was the aggressor. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say that this is a reason why she probably said that Kelly doesn't respect her as a mother, because Kelly doesn't think that Molly is strict enough with her children. Now, the whole thing about not respecting her as a businesswoman, I don't know, but she did say that she expected Kelly to help her out in her business, and I guess he's not doing that. So once again, my question is, and always will be, Kelly and Molly, why the hell are y'all together? Because in the real world, when people are not making each other happy, especially people who are only dating, not engaged, not married, you don't have children together, what they normally will do is they'll just break up. What if it's not working out? I don't know why they don't just break up. I don't get it. But anyway, it was a cute little episode. It was very interesting. I couldn't be as explicit as I would like to be, because honey, there's real people in my life that watch my channel, so I gotta keep it real cute and PG. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.